Namaste.
Namaste.
Hello everyone. My name is Myrna
And my name is Charmaine.
and we are here to talk about our experiences because we are in this long journey to transform ourselves and to put harmony into other people's life.
That's right. And we've sort of connected as kindred spirits. I think we recognise that we're both on this same wonderful journey.
Somebody comes to me and says, oh, you know, this and this, and I say, oh yeah, why don't you take this? Or
Can
why
I
don't you
stop
do
you
that?
right there just for a second? Because I know you and because I've taken the time to know you, I understand your motivations of giving the unsolicited advice is coming from a place of good. But I can get where you're saying...
Can you tell my kids?
Yeah, but with a stranger on the receiving end of that, because they don't know you, they would take it as like, what's she telling
She's not
me?
listening
She's
to me.
just telling me, yeah.
She's not listening, and it's true, I'm not listening because I just hear the first beat and then I go into the how do I solve his or her problem mode.
Yeah.
And I stop listening. And my daughter she has actually put me in my place and she said, can you please listen to me?
Yeah.
Because she says, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I say, yeah, and this, and because I continue, to me, I have listened enough. That's enough. And then I elaborate onto something else.
Yeah.
And then she says, no, you didn't listen. I said, yes, I did. And she said, no, you just said yeah, and then continue on to something else, or you just made it about you, or made it about something else. And it just hurt me that you don't listen to me. And I said, okay, what do you, and at some point I was like, I cannot have a relationship with this girl. I am trying really hard, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
But it's not really enough, you know. I really have to listen. Sit in what chair?
Is it the giraffe chair?
I don't know.
Louise
It's about
Evans'
what's the
5
name?
chairs. Louise Evans' 5 chairs. We recommend it so much. It's fantastic. And it's just the way how people naturally respond in certain situations. So there's an attack chair.
The jackal chair. It's the first chair where we just want to retaliate, we want to teach, we want to be sanctimonious, and we want to say, I know more than you, and I want to be aggressive, and I want to, you know, just put people in their place.
Yeah. And then the hedgehog chair, the self-doubt. Oh, should I have said that better? That didn't come across very well. Are they going to still like me after this conversation? Blah blah blah. And then you move
The
down.
third chair is because I know the dolphin, the giraffe.
Yeah.
God, we need to.
We need to remind. But Louise Evans, peoples, have a look.
It's fantastic because the one thing that really I learned from her, that she says she used to be the person who wants to put everybody in the right place. Like she put this example, and I think we all have done it. Like, you know, and I remember when I was little and my grandmother said something, I would correct her.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't 5, it was 4.
Yeah.
And she would look at me and I would have to be quiet because I knew that my grandmother didn't want to be interrupted. But I was doing it. And Louise says the same thing.
Exactly.
When her mother was saying something, her mother tended to exaggerate.
Yeah.
So Louise was there to correct her mother.
Yeah.
Until her brother said, do you want to have, why do you do that? And she said, because she's not right, you know, and I'm teaching her to be better. It's for her own good. And then he told her, do you want to have a relationship with mother, or do you want to be right?
That's it. And how many of us have done that by default? We just have this need to be right over harmony, or having that. The relationship is the most important thing.
Yeah, because I think we think that by being, like history, for instance, sometimes, you know, like Enrique and I, my husband and I, we always have this discussion about, he said, no, but it was like that. And I said, no, it wasn't like that. And then today I said to him, he said something, I don't remember, I said, okay, you're right. But I said it in a way that it wasn't, you know, like Chris Voss says, you're right. But what I meant is go away, I don't believe you, whatever. Yeah, you're right. But it doesn't mean really from a loving heart. It means like, I am right, but I don't believe you, but I give you this one.
Yeah,
just to shut
go
up.
away.
Yeah.
And that's another great learning. Chris Voss, he's an FBI hostage negotiator. Never Split the Difference is his book, which we recommend you read. And Chris, if you're watching, we love you.
I don't think very much.
But But yeah, that book has taught us a lot of tools and techniques like questioning, like calibrated questioning, like the how and what questions. Yeah, so it's fantastic, isn't it?
But this journey is just so hard. I started reading, the first book I read was The Secret, but it's because it's about obtaining material things, it's just, and that really doesn't appeal to me. I mean, it's not that I don't like nice things, yes I do them, but they have stopped being important to me. And they were never probably that important to me.
It doesn't drive purpose of life.
No, and there are a lot of information on the net and in books. It's about, getting stuff, it's for your own purpose. But for me, now this journey has become about being happy. It's not even being happy, it's just, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was such a good day. I mean, not because you left.
I left my job. It was very sad.
It was your
to a new one.
Yes. But it was because I was purposely being present. That's what it was. Being present. And it's amazing. My reward was that I found a camera. This guy, I went to buy a camera, and the guy made because I was listening to him. I wasn't my usual me, because I know about cameras a little bit.
Yeah.
And if somebody started telling me about cameras, I would say, oh yes, and that's this and this and that. Which sometimes I am fibbing, like I'm exaggerating what I know because I want them to know that I know.
Yeah.
But
you're not going to fool me. I know.
I know.
That's it.
Hey, I know it's me. Don't you know who I am? Probably not, because I don't know who I am. Anyway, and he was really helpful, and and because I was listening, probably he was bored because the shop was a bit empty. But anyway, I bought it at Maya. Maya is my mothership.
Yeah.
Anyway, and while I was checking prices with another store, he went and looked for another camera, and he said, I found this one for you, and it's exactly what you're looking for, and it's only $60.
Nice.
And I thought
that was huge bargain.
And I from $400 to $60, I thought
brilliant.
This is, I mean, I know this is a bit, not what I'm looking for, but I thought it was a reward for being nice the whole day.
Yeah, and also for changing.
I don't know if it's a true, but the thing is.
Yeah, but you changed your strategy consciously in that negotiation as well to produce that result. So you were able to attentively listen, be really present, allow him to provide you information without you having to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, we were just attuned,
Yeah,
exactly. And then when I went to your dinner party, I was asking Parking Angel. My friend Helen told me about Parking Angel, so
everyone needs one.
Maybe I shouldn't say Parking Angel. He will be too busy to help me. She will be too busy to help me.
You don't give out his details.
I won't give his phone number, but her phone number.
I'll give him your
But every time I'm going to find parking, and I know it's going to be difficult, especially in Brisbane at 5:30 in the afternoon. Oh my God, around in the city, impossible. And parking is so expensive in the city. So, and I know I'm going to find parking. I know there will be space for me on the street. Parking Angel will keep me, and I know I'm so grateful to you for giving me the space. And my God, and I just turned on the street, and there was parking there waiting for me.
But then you've also touched on a really important point in life. Like, I'm 48 now, it's taken me a long time to come to even some of these infant realizations. It is gratitude versus entitlement. In every single transaction of your life, if you embody gratitude, there's never any loss, is there? There's never anything that is not that's insurmountable, with the adoption of gratitude.
And I think Monica, my daughter, she talks about gratitude all the time. She says, we have to do the 12 days of gratitude or the 10 days of gratitude.
They're fantastic.
You write it down in the morning, what you're grateful for.
Gratitude diaries.
And that's the one you gave me, gratitude. And it's every single little thing that you get, even the fact that you have water. How many places don't have water? You see it on TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had the same thing. 10 years ago? We had level 4 drought here, and
God, that
the
seemed
water.
a while ago, isn't it?
And so having water, to have a shower, having a roof over your head, having
Food.
a warm bed, having
Yeah.
a job. You know, how many people are jobless?
Yeah.
You know, we
that's
have so much to be grateful for. So there is no, you don't even think about, you don't have to even, you know, wreck your
Yeah.
brain to find what to be grateful for, because we have everything.
That's it.
Right?
That's
And
it.
even if you don't have a nice house or a nice bed, but you still have something, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and people who care for you. So there is so much to be grateful for.
Absolutely. And then it attracts the right kind of energy, the right kind of people. And also, there is neuroscience behind it now. So that's another thing. Dr. Dan Siegel,
Jen Siegel,
his book on mindsight, fantastic. So all these ways that you adopt thoughts and thinkings and make choices consciously and have presence and adopt silence and these type of tools and techniques are not for naught. So for the people that are thinking this is just spiritual, you know, hippie crap, it's not. There is neuroscience behind it, and I challenge you to read up on this
And
stuff.
also it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Because we make habits for everything. Like, you know, if you go for an interview, you wear your red knickers, you know. Or you
Do
wear
you?
your- No, I don't.
On the outside? Oh, Superman style.
Superwoman. Oh, no, you do.
Superwoman, Wonder Woman.
Right. A Wonder Woman. Ta-da! You know, your leg down. No, but, you know, like people make habits of things, you know, like drinking your coffee this way, or about 10 o'clock I go for coffee, or at, you know, all the habits that we make. Sometimes we make it consciously, sometimes subconsciously, but we make habits. So if we don't, okay, forget about breaking your old habits. You don't even have to, you know, to replace your old habits. You just have to create new habits. And if you repeat how many times the same thing?
63 apparently.
63. You don't even have to count, right? But if you try, because with this thing about observing, you know how Krishnamurti says that instead of well, okay, I'm going to confess, I can't meditate. I have tried to
It's not for everyone.
meditate and sitting there, you know, I drink tea and I sit there, but it's just so hard to.
But there's many ways that you can do meditation. Is it breathing? And
Yes, but I have tried that
Yeah.
many ways, you know, guided meditation. I have tried all kind of meditation, but you know, the breath meditation, anything. But the thing is, it's just sitting there. It's just, to me, it's kind of a waste of time. You know, like I you know, I'm very active and I need to be moving. So, but what Krishnamurti has spoken about, talking about so many times, is about, he insisted that we, because he didn't believe in meditation either. He said, observe.
Yeah, observe.
So observe. So observing means, like, I will look, okay, it's just going to be simple. If Charmaine said something to me like, you're stupid. And instead of responding to her, saw that, instead of responding to her angrily, what I can do is just maybe look at my hand. Observe my hand.
Observe the nails digging
Observe
into
the
the
nails that needs to be, you know, I don't know, filed, my wrinkled hands, but without actually judging the hand or labeling the hand, say, oh, how wrinkled my hand is. Oh, look, it looks old. Oh, it has a name here, M for Myrna. All right, okay, so, no, I just look at it. Just look at it. And Krishnamurti said, it comes alive. Like, you can look at the sky. And you don't say, oh, how blue it is. Oh, look at the way the clouds are moving. But because she told me I was stupid and I was probably hurt by that, but if I look, I bring my attention to something else and I don't think about it, just look at it. What she says, actually, the thought of anger or hurt just dissolves, just goes away. And it doesn't allow me time to think about how angry I am, or how I want to retaliate, or how I want to smack her. Or, you know, I don't, as you said, or people say as well, I don't make stories in my head.
And then it allows you to slow down your reaction time by doing that, and then adopt the right one of the 5 chairs in that situation, isn't it?
I wasn't thinking about the 5 chairs.
Well,
I forgot about that's what it is.
But that's
but what it is.
Segue.
It's the chairs. It's to sit on the right chair. But I didn't, because when, for instance, this morning when this person said to me, oh, you know, you just leave it behind. I was so hurt. I didn't have time to think about the chairs. I didn't have time to think about anything. All I did, which was easier for me, was to observe the sky, and I still wanted, you know, that pleasure, that fighting gives you, like it's to say, you are wrong, you are so negative, blah, blah, what I always do.
Yeah.
But this time I kind of resisted that. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. It took me probably at least 2 or 3 minutes
And
to
it's
get
a
over
practice
it.
thing every
And
day.
it's a practice. And I
isn't
have
it?
been now, probably for a month now practicing, not very often, but it's becoming more often now that I take time to observe things.
Yeah.
I am sitting doing something and I am, not doing something. Say my husband is driving and I try to observe as much as I can without judging, just look at it. And then I sometimes, I am, I don't know, anywhere I am, maybe for the elevator, waiting for the elevator, I just look at things without judging. It's becoming a kind of a habit.
Yeah.
So eventually I think,
and this is when you do it and practice it every single day, when you do arrive at the door of a challenging situation, you have been preparing every step of the way. So those difficult situations hopefully will be easier to navigate if you practice those things.
Yeah, exactly. Because as when I remember reading, I think it was Eckhart Tolle who said that sometimes when you want to adopt a habit, a new habit, so you say, okay, I'm not going to give unsolicited advice. But then when I am in the midst of it, I just suddenly I give unsolicited advice, and then 3 days later, I gave unsolicited advice and I didn't want to do it.
Do you know?
Next time, I will be in the midst of it, I will give unsolicited advice, and then I will find an hour later, okay, I'm closer now, right?
Yeah.
So the next time, when I am giving the unsolicited advice, I will find out, I will become aware of what I'm doing when I am doing it.
Yeah.
The next time, before it comes out of my mouth, say, here it comes, and then I will stop.
Yeah.
The next time, when it comes to my thought, then I will be able to stop it and it won't go further. Because it takes a while as long as you make the decision to do it.
Yeah. And you know what, even in that process, if you are, three steps back and you're in the conversation, you're starting to give the unsolicited advice, even if you bring that self-awareness out in the conversation and go, I'm sorry, I'm realizing I'm giving you advice that you're not asking for.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, that is so powerful to another person hearing that. They're sort of like, yeah, okay, that's really cool that you did that because I was feeling that way and you recognize that. That's amazing stuff.
Yeah, because with the unsolicited advice, it could come, maybe it comes from a good heart, from a good place, right?
But it also helps that person to see you as a human.
But also I can make them feel that they are stupid enough that and I think they haven't thought about something. So you know what I mean? Like
yes.
Because the thing is, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people give me advice, sometimes I think, I already know that.
Yeah,
I already know that, and
they
I do
didn't
that.
take the time to find out that you already did
And
that.
that's what I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing they are doing to me.
Yeah.
So that means that I am exactly like everybody else.
Exactly.
But I don't want to be like everybody else. But I don't want to be a burden to people. I don't want to make people feel stupid or bad, even if it's not my intention.
Yeah.
Because that's not my intention. But I think I am being just.
You're coming from a good place.
Yes,
even though it's
but I am also not considering this person.
Yeah.
And I need to consider this person.
Yes.
I need to make sure. I need to. What I want to say is, if I am being full of ego, and saying things like if people were not intelligent enough to have tried different ways.
Yeah.
So I come from this way of I am better than you.
Oh, it's also, I also see it as people that want to impart that kind of thing are also trying to show how much they know.
Exactly, and
You know,
that's me.
and
That's me. Oh, no.
And it's true. I mean, you do, it's absolutely true. You know, your wealth of knowledge and stuff, and it's very easy for any of us to get into that trap of offering advice. And I don't think it's just Mars and Venus, guys. I think it's men and women across the board.
Oh yeah,
do
it
this.
is. Yeah, it is
So,
everyone.
I like that book, but I don't think it's really that. It's kosher. It's men and women.
Yeah, it's men and women. I think men and women, we are the same, except that men probably are less. They probably.
You going into judgment?
They probably tend less to give advice, while we women, because we are so tribal. Like men are tribal, but we women are so tribal. Like we are into like midwives and always advising about and we know about everything.
So you don't. So what you're saying is we haven't evolved past that.
Oh, absolutely not. No. We're very tribal.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see even at work, because we used to work together until Friday. We are public servants.
Yeah.
Humble. But there are still people who there are cliques, places where in the same place there are cliques, people who get on, and I guess if you don't are invited into that group, it's because you're not part of the group. And they don't want you to be part of the group, and then you feel excluded and isolated sometimes. And the people who are in is because they see you as not
as
being
different, or
maybe that you don't fit. Maybe that you don't fit. But for those of us
or scared of something
scared, or sometimes for those of us who don't feel like we fit, we have to console ourselves by saying, I don't want to fit. I just want to be me.
The other side
I want to be me. I don't. If I am different, it's great to be different. It's fine. You don't have to be the same. Exactly. And and I'm not going to say it's their loss, because no, they don't lose anything. It's not true. When people say, oh well, if they don't like you, it's their loss.
No,
not
that's
true.
just a way for them to make themselves self-placate.
No. Look, we want to be included. We don't want to be excluded. And I try
belonging, acceptance,
exactly to be accepted. But I don't want to fit. I don't want to be in the U.S. In the United States, people say, what do they say? They say, not amalgamation. What do they say? The melting pot.
Oh, the melting pot.
And I remember this woman. Her name was
they use that in Australia too.
Yeah, the name is surname is Brown.
Oh.
I forgot. But she talked about the blue and the brown eyes. She did experiments, and she said, melting pot is, for instance, putting a lot of fruit together in the blender, and then you get this thing. You have only the fruit. Strawberry, a smoothie of whatever. With
so
one
the
flavor.
Differentiated parts are just blended together to become
one
so we
thing.
lose the beautiful different colours and textures and all that sort of stuff.
And she said, what we want is a fruit salad.
An acai bowl.
Yes. So if you have, say you have your fruit bowl, so you have your fruit salad, so you have pieces of bananas, pieces of strawberry, pieces of acai, pieces of whatever, grapes, and they all together. You take a teaspoon of that, a tablespoon of that, and it's delicious.
And
all
it
the
complements the sweet and sour and salty.
So we want to be a fruit bowl.
Absolutely, I like that. I'm a fruit salad on those, but
we are a fruit salad.
We are.
We all fruit, like the guy in the movie said. My big fat Greek wedding.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, we all fruit.
We're all Fruit Loops.
and loopy. But anyway, thank you for talking to me. It was really amazing.
Beautiful.
And guys, we'll see you next time when we get back together.
This is our maiden voyage, so it will be more and more refined as we talk to you. And
but we're just trying to share, just share what we go through, trying to be better people like this. I don't know if better is the word, because what is better and what is worse, we really don't know. We're just trying to leave a nice taste in the mouth of the people we come across. Instead of
fruit salad style.
Exactly. Instead of people saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to see that woman again." I want people to say, "Oh, that was a lovely encounter." That's what I want. Not because of me, but because they will feel better. It's not about me, it's about them.
That's about you. That's right. It's about you guys. So.
Exactly. Thank you so much for listening to our crazy talk, and namaste.
Namaste.